What's up, guys? So I had a decent day. $281 off of 40 tickets, $70.85 in commission. So I guess you can say a little over trading here. But coming back from yesterday's President's Day, market was closed. Did really badly on Friday, so a little rusty. So getting back into the groove of things. So first trade, I took PCG. Stopped out. So if you look at the 1 minute, right here, Russ shows, because if you look at the 1 minute, I went short, but then this popped up, so I basically stopped myself out. Small shares, I was proud of myself. Each position I took, I didn't take more than 1,000 shares. So here, went short, stop out. I should have known, because if you see this long wick here at the 1 minute prior to this, it already shows that there's a lot of strong buying pressure. So stopped out. Later on, I went back to it, went long, I popped up, and then I exited, and then I stopped myself out here. One of the reasons too is because I was playing in another stock, so I didn't continue. But if I were to follow this and I see that it cannot make a new low below this, and then it popped up, this new 1 minute, I would have entered the trade again to ride it up to the top here. So that would have been my play if I weren't playing another stock. But overall, lost $30 on a short position, made $80 on the long one. So a bit more in 2 to 1. So that's a good trade, and also the importance of stopping out early. Another reason why, let's see, the 15 minute. This is also an indication. So it dropped. Pop back up, new 15-minute high, right on target, and then I entered a trade. So I like that trade. And then notice here too, there's a very strong simple moving average as support. So dropped, popped up, dropped again, popped up. So lots of confirmation here. Why I took that on the long side. WAMU. No, not WAMU. Stock hasn't been in existence for a while. Walmart. So Walmart, I kind of messed up. It's very volatile. Spread was pretty big. Went long, small size, 100 shares, and then I added 300 shares for a total of 500. Should have sold at the top here. Instead, I added, it dropped. I stopped out, but that was a pretty big loss. We look at the 1 minute. So it also looks like a Christmas tree, so I over-traded here. And the reason why I went long here is because I saw this SMA, good level of support, went long, added to a position. Should have sold somewhere around here when it started to lose the momentum. Instead, I waited until it hits the bottom here, thinking it will pop back up. Did not. Lost quite a bit of money. Overall, for Walmart, I actually lost $440 on the long side, most of it here, and about $72 on the short side. So this didn't work out for me. Later on, I think I continued this trend again. So I saw that it dropped, couldn't go up, so I went long again, and then got stopped out. Eventually, I went long. It kind of worked out, and then I covered. Went long again, dropped. Stopped out. And then I went short here, and then it popped up on me. So I lost money on the short side as well. And here I took 1,000 shares, so this was kind of painful. Eventually, I saw that it made this triple top up here. So on the way down, I went short, and then I covered. I covered a bit too early because I was playing another stock, ICPT, which saved my day. But should have held it, because this is still below my break-even point. So let's see how that looks like on the 5 minute. Yeah, this is just over trading in the middle here. In the beginning, that was good. Here in the middle, this over trading. Not proud of myself. ICPT, I'm kind of proud of myself. And don't let these small candles fool you here. It's actually big price movements. If you look at on the right hand side, it's 126. Here's 127.50. So this is more than a dollar move. This candle right here is more than a buck. So it's actually really big movement. So I took a small size, 300 shares here, and then I added 300 and 200 when I saw that it couldn't break above this. And so the reason I did this, even though the spread was pretty big and the stock was quite well, the stock was actually it was quite volatile. Is number one is if you look at the daily level. It popped up on the daily level, and this is a huge range at the daily level. It was near the top of the range, so at some point I was thinking it would then fill this gap, and as you can see, it actually closed the day with the gap filled. So it was up for, I don't know, whatever reason. So I knew it was going to come back down, or at least there's a tendency for it to come back down. 15 minute, it was all downturn. The only reason why I waited a bit is because of this big wick here on the 15 minute, but if you look at the look at the 5 minute, it couldn't break above this level. This SMA was a pretty strong level. So that's the reason why I went short, because of that. And also, I was thinking that this EMA would cross eventually. And as it crossed, as you see, the stock continued lower. So, on the 1 minute, how does that look like? Let's take a look. So 1 minute, it did a sort of pullback, and I went here thinking that it would do exactly this, which it did. But I went in a small size, 300 shares. It did pop up here. I was thinking about stopping myself out, because if you think about this, 127.14, 128.28. So took 300 shares. That's a $300 loss at this point. The reason why I didn't stop myself out was because it popped up, dropped back down. It was very, very volatile. Remember that. So even though it's only a dollar move, or about a dollar move, this is how the stock moves. If you think about all the previous 1 minute candles, the stock was moving about a dollar every single minute candle. So I waited just to see what it would do. And that's one of the reasons why I took smaller sizes on this stock. It never broke this mark. If you look at this, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute, none of it broke this mark, especially here too. When it reached that level, the 128.32 level, and then selling pressure just brought it back down. The only concerning part was here at minute 4, where it looked like it was going to fall, and then people bought it back up. But again, it didn't break this. Same thing here, and then it started to trend lower. I think at the 15 minute, I think we covered the 15 minute. So at the 15 minute, it started with a new lower 15 minute. Same with the 5 minute. So when it started to trend lower, despite all this, it trended lower. That's when I added. Notice I waited. I didn't add immediately to my position at this level. I added when it showed signs that it was trending lower. So I added, and then I added thinking it would drop. But then it went back up a bit on me, like right here. So that kind of got me nervous, because now I'm in 800 shares. But what was a good signal for me was the fact that it did not break this 128.29 level. It was still stuck here at 128 now. And then the new high became 127.74. And so that's when I felt a bit more comfortable with it. And then as it starts to drop, I actually use a limit order on this, because the spread was so high. If I were to just use my shortcuts to exit, I would have basically covered at the ask instead of the bid. So when I put in the limit order, I was putting a price point in between the bid and the ask. And so that actually saved me some money, and also helped me earn additional money, because the market makers or whoever, some of them would be purchasing it at the middle in between the bid and the ask. So that's basically what I did. Exited 100, 200 shares, 100 shares. And that's where I made $743 to make up for that huge loss I got on Walmart. So that's how I trade it. Here, I'm okay with this trade. In retrospect, what I would have done for this one is I probably should have actually executed a limit order because of the big spread. Should have executed a limit sell order or short order to enter the position. I probably should not have entered as early as I did here. A better entry would be around here in the middle. There's no way to predict whether this would hold, but at least give it some time to see if it would hold on the pullback instead of right away. Here, if I were to enter, I should have waited to some sort of confirmation signal that this was going to start to fall. Like maybe at around here where it does show it's going to fall, like here. Or here where it showed that it was holding, not immediately. So I was a little impatient with my entry, so I'm not proud of that. But I am proud of executing the limit orders on the exit. So that was good. Overall, the biggest size I took was 800 shares, which is okay. But yeah, Walmart really chopped me up. This is nonsense right here. There's no reason anyone should be doing this. This cost me a lot of money right here in the middle. Yep. So yeah, that's it. Hope this was helpful.